So why the heck are you getting lean everywhere else, but the lower stomach fat is the last to go? Here's why. It's not regular fat. It actually is stubborn fat. Your body has two types of fat, basically type 1 and type 2. Type 2 is the stubborn fat, and it's harder to mobilize and get your body to burn it. But there's three ways to do this. I'm going to go over them right now. The first is fasting. In this low insulin state where you don't have blood sugar high enough to give you energy, your body has an easier time tapping into the stubborn fat. But the problem is it's poorly circulated in the stomach area. So before you go on your fasted walk or your morning walk or do any kind of activity, you want to do some planks or some crunches or something to get the circulation up in that area. Also, extremely hilarious. You know those silly wraps that go right here? Well, they did studies on that. And the groups that wore those wraps and did cardio burned more fat from their midsection. Why? No other reason than better blood flow and circulation from the heat. So before you go on your morning cardio walk or whatever it is you're going to do, maybe you train fasted, go hit 3, 4 sets of crunches, sit-ups, some planks, warm that area up, and you'll see within a very short period of time. I'm talking like a week or two. If you're really strict on the diet, you will notice at the same weight you've been in the past, you will lose fat off this area. Fat, they say it's only lost like a balloon over the whole body, but they've done studies. They've had one group train upper body, one group train lower body, and then do 45 minutes of cardio. The upper body group lost more fat from the upper body, and the lower body group lost more fat from the lower body. So spot reduction, as small as it is actually a thing. You're probably only going to notice it a lot if you're already getting lean, but that doesn't mean you won't notice it even if you have a lot of fat to lose. So that's the first way. Low blood sugar through fasting. The second way, you could take a supplement called yohimbe. Basically, yohimbe, it kind of simulates adrenaline a little bit, and the epinephrine allows this stubborn fat to be utilized and mobilized. But we run into the same issue. It'll come out and get ready to get mobilized, but if it doesn't have good circulation, it'll get stored right back in again. They've had this happen with women where they've had fat from their arms get released into the bloodstream and then get stored in their hips. We can look these studies up, and it's pretty sad that that's how the body works, but this is how we overcome it. So you could take yohimbe, 10 to 15 milligrams is enough for everybody from about 175 to 200 pounds. Another thing, yohimbe only works properly when you're in a fasted state. So you're going to double down on the fasting, low blood sugar, nothing in your system. Take the yohimbe, do 45 minutes of fasted cardio, hour of fasted cardio in the morning, and you will see this come off quicker. It's pretty crazy. Otherwise, you're just going to have to get really lean. It's usually the last fat to go for men, unfortunately, the lower back and the lower stomach. Now, the third way to go about it is essentially higher intensity training, sprinting, jump roping, sports, stuff like this more HIIT type training, this higher intensity, like really getting after it kind of training does the same thing as the yohimbe, where your body kind of goes into this fight or flight type mode where the norepinephrine is elevated. It's like a semi adrenaline, as you get, you know, all these hormones flooding and your body allows that fat in this emergency scenario. And it's in your brain like, hey, this is fight or flight. We need all fat, all energy available. So once again, you have to stimulate the area to increase blood flow, because if there's not good circulation and blood flow, it won't burn well. Now, take this for what you will. Uh, I see my dad all the time, and he commented, wow, your lower stomach is looking a lot leaner. And that was like enough confirmation for me that this was working, because I was the same weight and I hadn't made any other changes except for I was doing fasted cardio and the yohimbe, and I was losing fat all over the whole body, but proportionately, I was losing more than I normally would in the lower stomach area. And it's always been a real issue for me that, like, I will have veins in my arms and veins in my legs and calves everywhere, my extremities totally ripped, shoulder, everything, and just be fat here still in my low back. It sucks. So, it's something I struggle with, and a lot of men struggle with it. And it's not always just your hormones or your genetics. There is guys that have great six pack and no veins. They store a lot of their fat in their lower body or their extremities, and they store a little bit less in their abdominal area. I think the Asian population, from what I've seen, it tends to be more common. African population, a bit more common as well. For a lot of Europeans, Eastern European genetics, uh, it seems to be that we just store a lot of fat in our spare tire all the way around to the love handle region. So, what I want you guys to try is I want you to try the fasted cardio, or I want you to try the yohimbe. And if you like HIIT training and jump rope and, like some sprinting, stuff like that, you could also try that as well. That last one isn't really my thing, but if it's your thing, go ahead and try it. It's very, very effective. And do this for 30 days. Take some photos, and you're going to notice a big difference in your lower ab fat getting a lot leaner. Final thing I want to leave you with: grow your glutes and your spinal erectors. Changes kind of how your pelvic tilts, how your pelvis tilts, as well as it adds mass to your booty and your back. And that inadvertently pulls that skin back a little bit and gives you kind of a tighter, flatter midsection. I noticed this. I had a crazy glute lower back pump, and I'm sitting like this, and we have that roll right here, that like that line that all guys get like right above their belt line. And it was like more even. And I was like, oh, this is freaking weird. And I stood up and I looked in the mirror. My lower abs look better than they normally did. And I'm like, what the heck? The only thing going on differently right now is I have a glute pump. So I've been focusing a lot more on that. And I notice right now I'm about 194 pounds in the morning. And I don't know if you can see on the video, but like I'm kind of bloated right now, but I still have, some abs going on. I don't know if they're coming through in the video. I'm a little bloated today. I'm well, not bloated, but woke up 194. I'm about 200 pounds now, full of water and carbs, but maybe the abs still pop through in the video. If you have any more questions or, you know, want to know more about this kind of stuff, go ahead and drop a comment. You could also look up Lyle McDonald. He has a couple good videos on this. And if you're interested in working with me, feel free to reach out and message me or DM or find me on Instagram at _AJ Steele. All right, guys, let's go.